of ARO today. We are presenting from our great location at our annual retreat, the Collab 2024, at the Hocking Hills Lodge. Well, butter my biscuit. Hey, y'all. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. I can't wait for
the espresso.
The espresso martini shot. We are trading in our coffee cups for martini glasses. Normally we drink a cup of coffee.
So we're on day 2 of the retreat out here in beautiful Hocking Hills. Yesterday when we got here, we had a nice little pizza dinner. We hosted a game of escape room, which was really fun, super cool.
Yeah, I think everyone really liked it. I feel like that was like a good, time.
And then we had a little social hour at the bonfire with s'mores and just another nice like chill hangout for the first day. This morning we hosted then a meditation and intention setting, a little bit of like a workshop underneath the pergola outside in the cool, nice, crisp fall air.
Yeah, it was gorgeous this morning.
And
really good weather.
Yeah.
So the second thing that we did today, like the second portion of our day, we got to meet with our fabulous facilitator, Derek, and actually we have him as our special guest today. I'm so excited to introduce Derek Reynolds, who is our most favorite presenter.
Not most favorite.
What?
Most favorite?
Yeah, I know that that's not necessarily a phrase, but it's.
I would.
We look
I'll
forward
take
to
it.
you. We look forward
Sure.
to you every time. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. We just look forward to you. It's like I was telling the younger girls earlier. You're the most personable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that you're like high up within Summit, but you never know. You know what I mean? Like, you just are one of us.
So sweet. I am one of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about you for those at the Swan Company who don't know you.
So, first of all, hi. I am honored, I think is the best word, to be kicking off season 2. And what is your show is called?
ARO Today.
ARO Today. I feel like we should have a news ticker down at the bottom.
You should go on our YouTube and look at some of our.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I might even do a little break on this where it's like da-da-da, breaking news.
Yeah, I love it. So good. So I have been in the professional beauty industry my whole career, and I have worked in pretty much every capacity, from the corporate office to running salons for other people, owning my own salons. I've been a consultant for 15 years. I've been a facilitator for about half of that time outside of consulting. And I think what I like people to know about me is the reason why I decided to work in this industry. I have always felt like my role was to create a really safe space and a really structured space where truly creative people can thrive. And I've kind of devoted my whole career to creating those spaces for people. And so now at this stage of my career, it's been a really lovely transition into being able to really give back to people at a high level, and maybe in maybe ways that I chose not to do before because I just didn't allow myself enough time to do that stuff. So it's been great. I think this is my 3rd year doing your retreat. I will tell you, your retreat is always one of my favorite. Your team is goals in terms of you put so much intention and planning into everything. There's so much consideration for people in terms of not just like in terms of what they may like or what they may enjoy, but also in having fun. Your team really has fun, and I get to do a lot of these throughout the year, but yours is always one of my favorite because of the amount of fun that everybody gets to have. And so for those of you who didn't come this year, you missed out because we are fun.
Yeah, actually, last year Derek did not get to stay for our party.
Did not.
So he purposely scheduled his weekend around our party.
I did.
So you're going to be with us even tomorrow as well.
I am.
Whereas last year you did not get to
I
be
didn't.
with us on Monday.
I didn't. So And here's the thing, I think, and I said this to the team this morning, what I think is really important about these events is we can come up with 9 million reasons why we don't have the time to do something like this. But at the end of the day, healthy teams and healthy cultures are really defined by these moments, by their opportunity to really enjoy each other's company, to get out of the salon, to engage in sort of a new and different way. Not to mention, I mean, when you're in a setting like this, and you're with super fun people, it makes it worth the commitment. But I think that's obviously can be challenging, especially with families and partners and everything, other jobs, and there's a million reasons why you can't do it or why it's not a great time. But I think it's so important, and I love that you guys do this every year for your team.
Yeah, I know I really appreciate it too. I have been doing this for a long time, and I have never been with a company who has invested so much into their team. So I know that we look forward to it every year.
Yeah, awesome.
So, another little thing, can you talk a little bit about the content that you provided us today? It
Sure.
does not, I mean, obviously it does not have to be 6 hours worth, but just
Yeah.
kind of a snippet so the people that weren't able to join us kind of gets a general idea.
Yeah. So the theme of today was the health of the individual directly correlates to the health of the team. So my belief is that without being in balance as a human being, it's very difficult for us to be the best version of ourselves, and it's even more difficult for us to bring that attitude and that ability to engage with other people in a healthy way back to the salon. So really all we did today was talk about emotional wellness, things like burnout and imposter syndrome, getting all of our basic human needs met, like through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We talked about the importance of professionalism in a few different areas, and then just really focusing on self.
Technical difficulties.
Hold on.
And
we're back.
Per the usual, my phone, they're used to my phone not having storage. Literally, the amount of times that we've had to cut the videos,
Yeah.
and I swear.
Listen, I'm just telling you, if ARO today goes into syndication, you're going to have a real issue with your syndicates.
Speak to the producer about this one.
I know, exactly. I'm like, I know a producer if you need one.
Well, we might.
That happens
need
to
one.
live in my house.
We might
yeah.
need that. So
Yeah.
All right. So kind of circling back, we were just talking about what we focused on today, and I feel like you summed it up. Was there anything that might
No,
have cut off?
I mean, here's the thing. I think more than anything, what was important to me today, and I think that we were really successful in it, is we try to be really balanced in delivering the information to everybody, but then also allowing people to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great opportunity for people to connect, talk about what's important to them, really sort of get out into nature a little bit. And I mean, it was a beautiful day today. So I think what's important for people to know who weren't able to join us this year is these events are not just about sitting in a room and listening to somebody talk. It really is about engaging and understanding your colleagues at a deeper level. And I think that was really successful today.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of your team. They were great.
For sure. Okay, so getting a little bit more personal.
Oh, yeah.
What is your,
God.
I guess it's not necessarily that personal, but
Sure.
like,
I finished my espresso martini. So guys,
our espresso shot, you mean?
Yeah, our espresso shot.
So what is your favorite part about your job?
Wow. It's been a minute since I've answered that question. So I think my favorite part of the job is, and I talk a lot about gratitude being the gateway to joy. And I think being able to teach, and specifically teach this information, has been a gateway to my own healing and growth. I find that when I'm teaching the sorts of subjects that I get to teach, that just like in any other facet of consulting, when you say something and it comes out of your mouth, then you feel like you have to live authentically. And for me, I've always struggled with balance. My job has always meant a tremendous amount to me. My career has been probably the most important thing to me. more important than my relationships, than my family, than myself. And so it's been really helpful for me because as I help other professionals in this space, it's impossible for me to be able to communicate authentically and not take my own advice, which has been really probably my favorite part of the role. Yeah.
It's like self-discovery along with helping other people discover themselves.
Yeah, and I also think that if I can help others through connecting on a level that maybe I didn't give myself an opportunity to connect with other people, like I never gave myself permission to go to these sorts of events. Because it didn't seem that important. I had other things that I was busy being fancy or busy being busy, but it didn't seem like this would be valuable for me.
Yeah.
And so I think that now that it's come full circle and it's sort of what I do full time, not only do I understand the value in it, but I want to give other people permission to see value in it. Because I think that it's really important work. You know, my division is known as the Leadership, Wellness, and Culture Division. And the wellness and culture piece, I think, is the most important thing we can do as an industry right now, is make sure that make sure that everybody's all right.
Yeah.
It's a very, very important thing.
So my brother said something kind of like profound to me the other day, and so he's a computer programmer.
Sure.
And he said the last place that he had worked, he didn't make like the industry standard pay-wise.
Sure.
And so he said, but it didn't matter to me because the culture there was so good.
Yeah.
And so I think that makes it's nice to see that companies are pouring into the culture.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's what is really honestly like most valuable. Yeah, we need to live, but we also need to value the culture that we have.
Yeah, I mean, there have been studies that have shown, there's one specifically that I'm thinking about. There was a study that KPMG did several years ago, and KPMG is like a top 3 accounting firm in the world. And what they did was they gave the same survey to all of the teams in the company, and then they scored things and they showed you the comparison between teams where the leader clearly communicated purpose versus the same teams where the leader did not clearly communicate purpose. And what they found was that the responses changed dramatically from those two groups. Like, I'm talking about like 30 percentage points of difference, right? And they were every category from like people saying that I rarely look for a new job, right? Like people whose leaders clearly communicated purpose, those people were far less likely to look for a new job than people who didn't. I see that what I do makes a difference every day. That was another big one. And I think that in our industry, what's really important to remember is that although we all in some ways do this to make a living so that we can live the sort of life that's meaningful to us, at some point it stops mattering. At some point the money doesn't really fix the issues. Mm-hmm. And unless we understand what the higher purpose of what we do is, unless we can literally look at what we do in the salon every day and say, it's important what I do, and it's important the way that I make people feel, or that not even make people feel, that the opportunity I give people to feel beautiful, or to feel handsome, or to feel sexy, or whatever it is they want to feel.
Feel like really pretty.
Yeah, like the moment that we give them that opportunity and permission to feel that way, that's a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
But I think we have to look at it through that lens, you know?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have anything?
I think I just want to add, like, every class that I've been to of yours so far, it's always like somehow just related so personally in my life. And I believe just sitting at our table of like 8-9 people, your class just in some kind of way, you know, maybe the first slide didn't relate to Amanda, but then like it related to me, but like somewhere in the class it related so personally to like somebody in our group.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yes.
There's a little snippet that everyone can take away.
Yeah.
So I
from the
think that
process.
when you were talking about what the job means to you and everything, I guess I almost look at it as it must be so rewarding to you in a way to be able to kind of like open up these views to people and get them to like see a different way, or to, you know, just help people in general.
It's really rewarding, but I'll tell you what comes up for me in hearing you say that. So first of all, thank you for acknowledging that. I get the privilege of going out and working with salons all over the country and really all over North America. So it's important for me to hear feedback like that, because I do try to bring back what I'm seeing, and because I want for all of us to understand that sometimes we can feel super isolated, like we're the only ones who are struggling with a very specific thing, when in fact there are lots of us all sort of working through the same stuff. But more than anything, to hear you say that, what comes up for me is responsibility. I feel a tremendous responsibility in doing this work, and in the trust that people give me every day. I said to a client recently, and she was a little taken aback, and I said that I will have, especially lately, I've had a lot of people who have said to me during an event or after an event. I recently actually had a client who I've been working with for about 1.5 years now on a private basis, as well as I've been working with her team. And she said on the phone to me, I presented at a wellness retreat that she did, and she said, I just want you to know, and I want you to be able to communicate to my team, you changed my life. And for somebody who'd been in the industry for 40 years and given so much to other people, it really affected me, and at the same time, it made me super uncomfortable. I would be lying if I said that I was like, yes, give me all the praise, because I struggle with my own stuff, and in saying that to another client, she was like, but I don't understand, it was so lovely, and I'm like, no, it was lovely, but for me, there's such a responsibility, and it feels like such a gravity to hearing that kind of feedback, that it was a reminder to me that sometimes, you know, we all sometimes I love a
We don't
stink
make
bug.
edits.
I love a stink bug. Sometimes we have to get past our own stuff, you know, in order to be able to acknowledge and really meet people where they are. And so I think, if anything, what I hope you guys took from this is that opportunity for all of us to get out of our own way and sort of look at things from that bird's eye view and say, you know, this is maybe something I don't love to acknowledge about myself, but it's something that I know I need to work on.
As a number 7, I don't like to acknowledge anything that's uncomfortable.
Right, right. Or just maybe not acknowledge, just sit in it. You don't want to sit in it.
Do that.
You don't want to sit in it for too long.
Fine,
Yeah,
always.
no, it's
As a
all
number
good.
7,
It's all good.
everything's great.
Everything's great. Yeah.
So I guess one last thing is, so we always get to talk about, like, you know, what you like to do as, I guess, I'm a coach, and, you know, as like culture and all the other stuff. What do you do for fun?
So I do a lot of things for fun. So first of all, I love my husband. So, and my husband, if he's watching this, so my husband is super fun. So anytime we get to spend together is fun, and we love traveling. I'm going to New York this next weekend to see 2 shows, and to see our friends for dinner, and to just go in the city for a couple of days, and then we're going to Washington, D.C. at the end of the month to do the Smithsonian museums. Like, again, we love a museum, my husband and I.
Do you guys get the museum passes?
For which museums?
No, so it's
for
literally a museum pass, and it gets you into hundreds of.
Oh yeah,
like
I do have the museum. I do have the
Yes,
museum
but-
pass, but I have it through the Barnes Foundation. Have you ever heard of the Barnes? So the Barnes Foundation is the best museum you've never heard of. It's in Philadelphia.
Okay.
It has one of the most valuable collections in the world. They specialize in post-impressionistic art.
Okay.
It was all collected by one man, and when he died, he put in his will for the foundation it could never be loaned, sold, moved, or changed. So it's in the exact same arrangement that he had it in at the time that he died.
wow.
It is unreal. They have the most beautiful collection of post-impressionist art. So I'm a patron of the Barnes Foundation, and because of that, I get the like
The
museum pass.
reciprocal.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think that like for me, I am finding so much fun and so much joy in the quiet moments of my life, which is a lovely, at this age, I'm almost 50. It took me like probably like 25 solid adult years to discover that some of the most fun you'll have is in the really quiet, like special moments that you get to spend with people that mean something to you.
Oh, like Jenna, he knew this
You know,
weekend we went
I know when you went backpacking,
Yeah.
like the whole thing,
Yeah.
right? You know, and I think that, I just think that life is designed for us to enjoy it. I say to my clients all the time, as a form of self-care, I think indulgence is a really lovely form of self-care, and I don't mean like overindulging in vices or whatever, but I mean treating yourself is a really lovely form of self-care. And so for me, my fun is being a little bit indulgent sometimes in different ways, and it's I enjoy my life.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean that's honestly what I feel like everyone should strive for, is just
Yes.
having a life that they love, and kind of going back to your teachings earlier, is not comparing yourself.
Right.
Like, if you love your life, it doesn't matter what you have compared to the next
Sure.
person. So,
Yeah. Comparison is truly the thief of joy.
yeah.
Yeah, for
So-
sure.
Okay, so I did say that was going to be the last thing, but I
Yes.
do have one more thing.
Sure.
So you were talking about New York. So
Yeah.
as you may know, ARO and Bella are doing a New York takeover for Redken
Okay,
Exchange.
great.
A lot of the people that are going to the trip, it's their first time in New York City.
Yes.
What is,
It's
let's
your first
say,
time?
Yeah.
I love it.
tell me one activity,
Okay.
one restaurant, and
Okay. So hard.
one like sightseeing thing that you would recommend for someone who's
Okay.
never been there before.
All right, so I'm going to give you the New Yorker version,
Okay.
because I lived there off and on for 16 years. So I think a must-see is the High Line.
Mhm.
So the High Line is a park that was created from an elevated train track, and it took them about 40 years to develop the entire thing. But the reason why I love it is, first of all, it feels like an oasis in the literal middle of everything going
You
on
definitely
around
like
you.
it, Jenna.
Yeah. Is it very
It's
botanical?
botanical.
It's very botanical. It's so well designed. Everything is very intentional as well. Like it's just so beautifully done. And it's both a garden and it's a public space, and there's art, and it's just part of the city. It just is. And so I think it's very unique to New York. And also, while you're over there, there's another pier that they've developed called Little Island. Little Island was a pier that was literally falling into the Hudson River, and they've developed this entire sort of outdoor art space, like performance space, and it's just very, very cool. I would say in terms of restaurant, I mean, there are certain tourist things that you have to do in New York, so
Don't say juniors.
I'm not going to say
Okay.
Juniors. Everybody wants to go to Juniors for
No.
cheesecake.
No.
Juniors does not have the best cheesecake. So
No.
what I would say is, you've got to get a slice, like in New York, but like it's best to like
Like
stay,
the dollar slice.
like not even, but just like outside of Times Square.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Ray's Pizza, like is always a good one. Like just finding like a good, like just pizza joint that's open till 3 in the morning, and they, the slice has been there for like 4 hours. They throw it in the oven to heat it up. But it's just one of those New York things that
Yeah.
it's like, you get a slice and that's, you walk down the street and it gets oil everywhere and it's great. And then, what was the third thing you said? Sightseeing thing, or like a what?
Like a tourist. I know you
Like a
said
tourist
I
destination?
know you said
The Highland's not really a tourist
Yeah,
thing,
it's not.
right? So I think that, you know what? Oh, so my favorite thing, it's a little out of the way, but the Bethesda fountain in Central Park,
Oh yeah.
which if you've ever seen like Angels in America or any of like it is sort of iconic, and their Central Park in and of itself is very cool, but the the Bethesda fountain specifically is it's just a really wonderful moment. It's on the reservoir. It's just kind of iconic. And then when you're in Central Park and you're at the Bethesda fountain, you can turn around and you can see all the skyscrapers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I think it's just super cool. So those would be my three.
Yeah. Love it. Well, there you have it. For anyone that's going to be in New York, you have all of Derek's recommendations. Obviously, he knows because he is a former New Yorker. In closing, I do want to talk about the book that we got today. So for anyone who is kind of been keeping up, we do have a bookshelf in the back room that has like borrow a book basically. You can go and there's self-help and all that stuff. But every year at retreats we get books that we can read. This year Kelly picked out Getting Back to Happy. So we also have in here, it is the Culture Club is doing a book club, and I'll have to make sure that that I'm understanding it correctly, but it looks like we read the book by January 11th?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're meeting on January 11th to
So
discuss
meeting
the
on
book.
January 11th. If you don't have a copy of the book, let us know. We'll make sure that you get one. So I'm really excited to be able to do this because we get books every year for the retreat, but I feel like we'll get them and maybe not read
Yeah,
them all the
yeah.
way
I
through.
feel like this is a good way
So
to...
this is hold us accountable.
Yes, yes.
So I'm not even really sure what the book's about. So
Maybe
except for
Getting Happy, but
yeah,
I don't know.
All right. Was there anything else you guys would like to add today?
This was so great.
I know.
I
I'm
really
sorry. I
appreciate
told
it.
you it was like 5 to 10 minutes, but we just got to talking. We couldn't
No, I
help
love
so.
it. It's great.
All right. Well,
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on ARO Today.
Bye.